Hello and welcome to quiz class. I'm your host Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on general knowledge. Make sure you're keeping score of how well you're doing so you can tell us at the end in the comments your ranking with our quiz class awards, and of course the answer to the bonus question. So let's dive right in. In which country is the island Kugari? Australia, the United States, or Indonesia? Australia. What religion was Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky born into? Judaism, Roman Catholic, or Eastern Orthodox Christian? Judaism. What is Charles Baudelaire's most famous work of poetry? Fleur du Mal, Une saison en enfer, or Les Contemplations? Fleur du Mal. Which country was most affected by the North Sea flood of 1953? Belgium, the Netherlands, or Norway? The Netherlands. What was the Beatles' last Billboard #1 song before splitting up? Hey Jude, The Long and Winding Road, or Tomorrow Never Knows? The Long and Winding Road. In what waterway are vaquitas found? Gulf of Fonseca, Gulf of California, or the Gulf of Honduras? The Gulf of California. Which actor will star in Avatar 3? Julia Roberts, Kate Winslet, or Nicole Kidman? Kate Winslet. What was the biggest fashion trend at the start of the 1940s? Ration dressing, national dressing, or utility dressing? Utility dressing. In which country did the group Zero Art Collective emerge in the 1940s? Denmark, Spain, or Germany? Germany. Question 10. Which isn't one of the U.S. federal government's 3 branches? Legislative, judicial, or authoritative? Authoritative. What nationality is the Nobel Prize in Literature winner Svetlana Alexievich? Belarusian, Ukrainian, or Russian? Belarusian. When the U.S. bought Louisiana, how much land area did it add in terms of modern American states? 5 states, 10 states, or 15 states? 15 states. Which artist recorded We Are One for the 2014 FIFA World Cup? Was it Pitbull, Ricky Martin, or Bad Bunny? Pitbull. Which peak is nicknamed Killer Mountain? Kanchenjunga, Nanga Parbat, or Shisha Pangama? Nanga Parbat. Which 90s movie did Kevin Costner not direct and star in? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Dances with Wolves, or Waterworld? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Which area of Italy is referenced in the acronym of the Fiat Automobile Company? Turin, Tuscany, or Taormina? Turin. What aircraft combat was first seen during the Korean War? Satellite, drone, or jet? Jet. Bacon can be traced to which country's ancient curing techniques? Egypt, China, or India? China. What was the first pop art collage by Richard Hamilton in 1956? What was it made from? Magazines, Polaroids, or posters? Magazines. We have reached question 20. Which military service doesn't have the strictest rules about public displays of affection in uniform? The United States Army, the United States Air Force, or the United States Navy? The United States Army. Which writer worked for the Oxford Dictionary? George Orwell, J.R.R. Tolkien, or C.S. Lewis? J.R.R. Tolkien. Which language wasn't featured on the Rosetta Stone? Latin, Egyptian, or Greek? Latin. What name did ABBA originally perform under? Abarth, Culture Cult, or Festfolk? Festfolk. What is the rarest big cat in the world in 2025? The Iberian lynx, the Irremote cat, or the jaguarundi? The Irremote cat. Which actor hasn't portrayed a James Bond villain in the 21st century? Cillian Murphy, Javier Bardem, or Christopher Waltz? Cillian Murphy. How many different phrases could the 1960s Chatty Cathy dolls say? 3, 7, or 11? You could say 11. Which artistic form is Lucy Rye known for? Marble sculpture, studio pottery, or performance art? Studio pottery. What are the highest-ranking bishops in the Roman Catholic Church? Patriarchs, archbishops, or primates? Patriarchs. Which isn't an Orhan Pamuk novel? The Blue Castle, My Name is Red, or The Black Book? The Blue Castle. Moving on to question 30. Which god was the scarab beetle associated with in ancient Egypt? The afterlife god, the sun god, or the sky god? The sun god. Whose song was instrumental in making Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national United States holiday? Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, or Stevie Wonder? Stevie Wonder. What is the most expensive food crop to produce? Saffron, ginseng, or Madagascan vanilla? Saffron. Which actor founded the film production company Pearl Street Films? Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt, or Ben Affleck? Ben Affleck. What led Ralph Teeter to invent cruise control for cars? Stroke, asthma, or blindness? Blindness. During World War II, did Great Britain or Germany declare war on the other? Germany declared, they declared simultaneously, or Great Britain declared? Great Britain declared. What region is the Chalka a traditional dress of? The Caucasus, the Balkans, or the Baltic? The Caucasus. In which U.S. city is Reginald Marsh's mural Workers Sorting the Mail? San Francisco, Chicago, or Washington, D.C.? Washington, D.C. Which European Union member will transition its official currency to the euro in 2026? Bulgaria, Romania, or Hungary? Bulgaria. What was the first television adaptation of a Sally Rooney novel? Conversations with Friends, Intermezzo, or Normal People? And the answer is Normal People. Question 40. What was the first U.S. state to declare independence from the King? Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, or Rhode Island? Rhode Island. Which Grammy Award didn't Celine Dion win for My Heart Will Go On? Record of the Year, Song of the Year, or Best Pop Solo Performance? Best Pop Solo Performance. In which mountains is Mount Marcy, New York's highest point? The Catskill Mountains, Appalachian Mountains, or Adirondack Mountains? The Adirondack Mountains. Which actor was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, yet never won any? Burt Lancaster, Clark Gable, or Montgomery Clift? Montgomery Clift. Who buried a time capsule at Great Ormond Street Hospital, Great Ormond Street Hospital in London to represent the 1990s? Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen Mother, or Princess Diana? Princess Diana. Which country was artist Wilfredo Lamb from? From Mexico, from Cuba, or from Panama? From Cuba. Which country is not a member of the G20? Argentina, New Zealand, or Turkey? New Zealand. Which epic story features the monster Grendel? Ulysses, Beowulf, or the Iliad? Beowulf. What were La Santa Clara, Nina, La Pinta, and La Santa Gallega, Santa Maria? Christopher Columbus's homes, his voyages, or his ships? His ships. Which artist sang the Friends television theme song, I'll Be There For You? The Ramones, the Rembrandts, or the Replacements? The Rembrandts. And we are halfway through question 50. Which country's southernmost point is Cape Agulhas? Chile, Spain, or South Africa? South Africa. Why did the U.S. military withdraw cooperation for the film Independence Day? The representation of the United States president, the mobilization of the military, or Area 51 references? Area 51 references. In which U.S. state was the Durgay Motor Wagon Company established in the 19th century? Montana, Missouri, or Massachusetts? Massachusetts. In what age bracket was the average American soldier casualty during the Vietnam War? 18 to 21, 22 to 24, or 25 to 28? 22 to 24. What sea is Norway arguably not on? The Norwegian Sea, Barents Sea, or Baltic Sea? The Baltic Sea. Which American artist painted the iconic piece, The Dinner Party? Johnny Nashville, Jillian California, or Judy Chicago? Judy Chicago. What was Bill Clinton's main political campaign slogan for the 1992 election? Building a bridge, all Americans together, or putting people first? Putting people first. Who wrote the Divine Comedy poem? Virgil, Dante, or Ovid? Dante. What was the BCG vaccine developed for in the 1910s? For yellow fever, typhus, or tuberculosis? Tuberculosis. Who was the first British female artist to have a #1 album? Annie Lennox, Kate Bush, or Bonnie Tyler? Kate Bush. And we have reached question 60. Which country is separated from Africa by the Bab el-Mandeb Strait? Spain, Israel, or Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia. In which country is the story Out of Africa set? Tanzania, Kenya, or Botswana? Kenya. Who drove the revolutionary 1960s redefinition that an artwork's concept is more important than its form? Dan Flavin, Donald Judd, or Saul Levitt? Saul Levitt. Which British political party did the Whigs become the core of in the 1950s? The Democratic Party, the Liberal Party, or the Conservative Party? The Liberal Party. Which Crime Writers Association presents the Gold Dagger Award? American, Canadian, or British? The British. Which country's unicameral parliament is the Inatsisartut? Sweden, Iceland, or Greenland? Greenland. Which film features a dance choreographed to You Never Can Tell by Chuck Berry? Dirty Dancing, Footloose, or Pulp Fiction? Pulp Fiction. Which stone isn't one of the primary materials of Stonehenge? Gneiss, bluestone, or sarsen? Gneiss. What breed of dog is Otis in the children's film Milo and Otis? A Chihuahua, a Dachshund, or a Pug? A Pug. What isn't part of the American Dream limousine? A swimming pool, a helipad, or an arcade? An arcade. Moving on to question 70. What was U.S. military production called during World War II? Arsenal of Defense, Arsenal of Dominance, or Arsenal of Democracy? Arsenal of Democracy. What isn't a name given to Russian Orthodox church domes? Bulbous, onion, or mushroom? Mushroom. Which mammal features in Damien Hirst's installation A Thousand Years? Cow, pig, or sheep? Cow. How many years is the Irish presidential term? 5, 7, or 9? 7. Where isn't Min Jin Lee's novel Pachinko set? China, Japan, or Korea? China. Which music group promoted girl power in the 1990s? TLC, the Spice Girls, or Destiny's Child? The Spice Girls. How long did the Sokoto Caliphate last for? Almost 10 years, almost 50 years, or almost 100 years? And the answer is almost 100 years. Complete the opening of Little Richard's Tutti Frutti. A wop, bop, a loop, bop, a lop, bam. Is it boom, boop, or boot? Boom. Moving along to question 78. Which capital city sits on Faxafløy Bay? Stockholm, Reykjavik, or Copenhagen? Reykjavik. Which actor retired after the 2017 film Phantom Thread? Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, or Daniel Day-Lewis? Daniel Day-Lewis. What phrase is mentioned 365 times in the Bible? Praise be, my child, or fear not? Fear not. In which country is the annual New Art Festival of International Street Art held? Liechtenstein, Slovenia, or Norway? Norway. Which country's government passed the Bank Charter Act of 1844? Canada, the UK, or Australia? The UK. For what literary form was Jericho Brown awarded a 2020 Pulitzer Prize? Journalism, poetry, or fiction? Poetry. What was the first vegetable grown from seed in space? Potato, corn, or carrot? Potato. Which television show featured the Snow Patrol song Chasing Cars in the pivotal 2006 scene? Dexter, One Tree Hill, or Grey's Anatomy? Grey's Anatomy. In which country is the world's largest underground lake? Gabon, Namibia, or Angola? Namibia. Who starred in the Father of the Bride film series? Steve Martin and Diane Keaton, Al Pacino and Jane Fonda, or Warren Beatty and Goldie Hawn? Steve Martin and Diane Keaton. In what key do most car horns honk? B, D, or F? F. Which war was ended by the Treaty of Paris? The American Revolution, World War I, or World War II? The American Revolution. And we have reached question 90. What is the main way hibiscus is used in food? As tea, confectionery, or sauces? Tea. Which art movement self-defines as the art of the infinitely large and the infinitely small? Excoordinatism, incoordinatism, or orcoordinatism? Excoordinatism. What are the 5 ranks of British royalty officially part of? Stewardship, peerage, or brotherhood? Peerage. What genre is Mary Robinette Kowal's novel The Calculating Stars? Is it historical fiction, magic realism, or science fiction? Science fiction. What did the Hay-Herran Treaty concern? The Erie Canal, the Suez Canal, or the Panama Canal? The Panama Canal. Which Shakespeare play was Felix Mendelssohn's Wedding March written as incidental music for? As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, or A Midsummer Night's Dream? A Midsummer Night's Dream. What shade is the gemstone rhodolite? Greenish bluish brown, orangish reddish yellow, or pinkish reddish purple? Pinkish reddish purple. What does Mongolia's constitution define itself as? Semi-presidential, presidential republic, or parliamentary republic? Parliamentary republic. Which U.S. state wasn't part of Mexico? Missouri, Oklahoma, or Kansas? Missouri. During which moon phase won't a neap tide occur? The first quarter, full moon, or third quarter? Full moon. And we have reached question 100. In which country was the opening D-Day landing scene of Saving Private Ryan filmed? Was it in Morocco, Ireland, or Portugal? Ireland. And for our bonus question, which body part is nicknamed a snoot? Let us know the answer in the comments, and of course how well you did with our Quiz Class Einstein Awards. Thanks for playing, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.